In the heart of Spain, Maria lived a life full of hope and love. She was a young woman, and everything in her life seemed perfect. Her husband, Juan, who worked tirelessly to provide a better future for their family, and her young son, whose laughter filled every corner of their home. Maria dreamed of a prosperous future in the world she had built with her husband, and she was certain that happiness would follow her forever. But, as sometimes happens in this harsh life, everything crumbled in an instant. One ordinary day, Juan was involved in a tragic accident while going to work. After days of struggling between life and death in the hospital, he passed away suddenly. Maria felt as though the ground beneath her feet had swallowed her whole, and that life had taken everything from her. She lost her husband, her best friend, and her partner in life. And with her son needing her more than ever, how could a poor woman provide for him after losing their sole income? Her life began to spiral out of control. The government support she received was not enough to meet their daily needs, and the world that had once been filled with opportunities suddenly became dark and uncertain. The days passed heavy on her heart, filled with helplessness and despair. But in one decisive moment, as she sat in her corner, thinking about her lost life, she felt a fire igniting in her heart. She felt that there was still a chance waiting for her, but she had to fight for it. Maria decided to take responsibility. She decided that she would rebuild her life, even though the road ahead was filled with obstacles. She considered many options, but eventually decided to learn knitting and traditional clothing making. She knew this might be the only weapon in her hands to achieve financial independence, despite the tough start. But the road wasn't easy. The people around her doubted her ability to succeed. Her products didn't attract much attention, and the shadow of failure followed her at every turn. However, Maria was determined to move forward. She studied, learned, and tried her best to improve every day. There were tough days, days of frustration, exhaustion, both physical and emotional. But something in her heart kept telling her not to stop. Every moment of weakness only made her stronger. And every time she looked at her son's face, she found in his eyes the hope and reason to keep going. Over time, things began to change. The products she made started to find a place in people's hearts. The demand for them grew, and she began to feel that all her efforts had not been in vain. Maria was no longer just a woman who had lost everything. She had become a woman in control of her own destiny. And the success continued to grow until the day she showcased her products at a major exhibition. At that moment, her project had become more than just a dream. She had succeeded in building her own business and was finally able to secure an independent life for herself and her son. Today, Maria is one of the prominent names in her field. She, who had endured all kinds of suffering, never gave up. She learned that patience and determination are the key to strength, and that every pain can be turned into a lesson if you have strong belief in yourself. Conclusion: through her perseverance and determination, Maria proved that true freedom comes only when we decide to take control of our destiny. And from the thorns of life, she emerged stronger, becoming an example that success knows no limits.